Hi guys, how are you? Can you guys hear me? Oh no. Okay, sorry guys. Mess up something. I've been having malfunction all day. It is- I will increase my volume for the music. Alright. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. I feel like I'm MIA lately from on Facebook. I've been gone for a minute now. For a minute. Then a half second. A half second. Hi guys, how are you? How you doing? How's life treating you? I came feeling fresh today. How you doing? How is life treating you? You guys, some life changes, some good, good things, good life changes has happened. Promise you guys I was gonna go live on my day of but I'm telling you, I got busy doing all this stuff and then ran out of time. But yeah, welcome to the show. How are you? How's life treating ya? One moment. I'm trying to get my charger here. We got one person watching. I had to make sure I get my banner, everything up, set, and ready. I got back home a little bit later. Shoot, I thought I wouldn't make it. I said I was not going to, you know. I thought I wasn't gonna make it on the show tonight, but here I am. Up there. I'm ready to talk. All right, let's do our due diligence. Let's check to make sure we're up and running on all platforms. We're going live on YouTube. I gotta post a link in the comment section and then we can have some fun. So let's see. Yes, I am off on reach. Okay, no camera down. Okay, let's do a little homework. I'm gonna pin the link. No, that's not the link. Let me get someone on the show. Someone actually wants to join us today. Share the link with let's see. Hi guys. I had trouble getting my device up. Ooh, I was fidgeting with that thing for quite some time. I was like, "Oh, I'm late. You guys, I know I always say, what I say, 8:30. But guess what? Right now it should be 7:30. So y'all just gotta bear with me. Y'all bear with me. Oh god. So I got the link. I'm gonna pin the link in the comment section. Um, you guys are probably wondering like, what is this topic about? This topic was hot and heavy during lunch section yesterday at work, and I want us to talk about it. Let's see. Hmm, there we go. All right, let's go. Next, use our hashtag. Hashtag. Let's talk. Hashtag. Hi guys, if you're just joining, I'm just trying to clean everything up and get us running. Okay? Just that one. Let's see that is coming in. There's a lot going on the internet right now, and I don't know if you guys are going to show up tonight, but I need y'all to show up. Show up or not, it's okay. We're still gonna do it. Compliments. So, so the reason I wanted to do this topic is always most of my topic has something to do with something, that happens. And I had a really lengthy conversation with someone this week. That's how this topic came about. So I hope you guys are interested in it because everybody's looking for someone who completes them. And I think that's what's holding up on a relationship. They don't feel complete. They're looking for that. And something that makes them feel like you're the one. And we're going to discuss that today. Should you be looking for someone to complete you? Is there a thing that's called complete? Can someone really complete you? Or is it being fulfilled? You see? See? Is it? Tonight we're gonna look at what compliments and what it means to feel complete. Mhm. So invite your friends, invite your friends. Let's talk about it. Invite everybody, let's talk about it. It looks like you guys are all sleeping. The weather is really, really horrible right now, actually. I wouldn't want to go anywhere. Oh shoot, I just found out to use that. Invite your friends. Come on, let's watch. Let's talk, let's talk. I'm quiet right now. The show's gonna start exactly in 7 minutes. Just doing talk. If you hear anything, uh, that's my it's that's gonna be what's the show. That's on two. Hi guys, how are you? I'm treating y'all. know you're watching something else, but y'all need to you guys. You guys are sleeping on me. I know I think some people anyway. So now it's time to share. I'm gonna share you guys. Let's not share. There's a lot going on the internet tonight. Yeah, we are only here for an hour. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. We're sharing the show. Please share it. Share it. Invite a friend. Let's talk about it. You can share the show. You can share it. You can share the show. You guys, I have a little cold, so I told you I got a little cold, just a little bit. I'm fighting. I'm fighting the cold, okay? Real bad. But you got this. I'm sharing the show. Kindly share, invite your friends. Let's talk about it. Got two people watching already. Hi guys, how are you? How are you doing? If it is your first time here, welcome to Let's Talk with Miss B. I am excited to be here. I feel like I've been gone for years. I've only been busy for a good 2 weeks. Haven't really been too active, but just putting some few things together, and that's taking up a lot of my time. But like I said, I have some time during the week now. We're going to be having a show during the week. So just great things are coming. Just working on some few things on the behind closed doors and, you know, networking. We're networking. It's good to start slow, but I'm networking, reaching out to people, and um, hopefully soon things will pan out. But there are a few things I'm doing behind the scenes and I'm working on. And hopefully, that evaluation, because this girl is ready to take it to the next level. Right. All right. If it is your first time watching, I say welcome to Let's Talk with Miss B. My name is Felicia. And wow, that's so fast. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. So welcome to the show. It is 9 o'clock. Right on the dot when I wanted it to start. I'm gonna be here for exactly 1 hour. What is that, you guys? All these crazy messages. Well, welcome to the show. My name is Felicia. I am your host. and I am here to talk to you. It's always nice to be here. At 9 o'clock exactly, we're going to start the show. I'm going to pull my notes up really quick. And ooh, guys, I have a little cold, so please bear with me. You would think we all know what being complete means. I guess it is relative. Mm. You guys, this is ridiculous. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. How's your week been? How's life been treating you? I'm excited to be here. Tonight we're talking about what is. Let me go back to the topic. Let's not make up stuff here. Let's read it word for word and discuss it. I can that thing is moving so fast that so tonight's show, we're talking about being complete and being complete. Having a partner that completes you and having a partner that complements you. What is the difference? What does that mean? So, if you're just coming on here, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss P. This platform is all about mostly we discuss things about our day to day life, things that are uncomfortable, controversial topics that are about relationship. We try to encourage Christianity through a relationship on here. We're here to share our opinion. This is mostly opinionated podcast where we talk about things that we know about or things that we may have researched or just plainly what we think about it on the fly when we hear or see the topic. So just wanted to welcome you to the show. And if you are new, I just want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and either subscribe to our YouTube channel or go ahead and follow us, set your notifications so whenever we are on live, you are on here. I also have panelists that join in, but lately it's only been either me or the co-host who's been here. We've been hosting the show. So just wanted to say welcome and hopefully tonight you can join me by clicking on the link and sharing your thoughts on this topic. By all means, I am not a relationship expert neither. It's anybody who's on the show. So just want to put that out there. This is all about what you think about the topic that is being discussed. And just want to welcome you. And sometimes we talk about things that are very educational. So if you're trying to get away from all the drama and things on Facebook and you just want to join us, just want to say welcome. You have a seat at this table, and at any time, you can click on the link and join me up here while we discuss the issue. Okay. With that being said, welcome to the show tonight. All right. So let's jump into it. So this topic came about. I have few work colleagues, and we were having a discussion. Always at lunchtime, right? It was a really busy week at work. And, we happened to have a break on Friday. Friday, I worked a little bit later than I should have. I probably could have gone live, but yeah, I was exhausted. I've been walking a lot, you know. But anyways, the discussions came about. So let me just say this. I have a serious problem with um I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I was just talking about this with my husband. I have a serious problem with people that are well over the age of 45, let's say 50. I'm so sorry. I have a little cold, so if you hear me sniffing and things like that, that's it. I just didn't want to turn this off today. But as I was saying, before I get into tonight's topic, what is going on? I have a little problem with adults. And when I say adult women or men in general who are well over 50 years old and still uses the phrase my boyfriend or my girlfriend. That irks me because I just feel like you should leave that with people. Maybe you're not just in your 40s. That's okay. Maybe. Just maybe. But just referring to your partner, just a partner. Even if you're not married, just a partner. Let's just say, yeah, just a partner. Don't say boyfriend, don't say girlfriend. I have a serious problem with that. I don't think anybody over the age of 50 should actually use that phrase. I really don't think you should. That's my opinion. I just want to get that out of the way before I tell you the story, how this topic came about. Okay. So we were having a discussion, and I have a work colleague. She's maybe like 55 years old. And guys, I don't know why I have the mic all the way somewhere else. But she's about 55 years old. And she was telling us about her boyfriend, how um, she feels like she wished she has met him early on. And, she spent her entire life looking for someone to complete her. And just at the age of 55, she just realized that it's not about a person completing you, it's about that person complimenting you. And that's where this topic came about. Isn't it funny? You spend your entire life trying to figure out if someone completes you. And you break up relationship, you move from another one to another one, and it might sounds like something that people don't want to actually listen to, but it's happening a lot. It's happening a lot. A lot of us are looking for that one person that's going to compliment us, that's going to change everything for us and just make us feel like we're complete. But I just wanted to talk about this tonight because I want us to understand, what does it mean to be complete in a relationship? And what does it mean for someone to compliment you? Should you be looking for someone to just complete you, or should we focus on someone that compliments you and the rest will fall in place? So let's dive into it. First, I want us to understand what does complete means. When it comes to a relationship, it might be relatives. It might depend on what you are looking for to complete you, in my opinion. And when it comes to life in general, complete means you're satisfied. You need absolutely nothing else. In my opinion, that's my definitions. But I want us to go to my notes and I want us to read, what does it mean to be complete, in a relationship? Hmm? What does it mean? What does I am complete mean in a relationship? Should you? All right. Let's see. Let's jump into it. I'm gonna put my notes on. You guys, I have a cold. Please, please, please. Oh shoot. I just deleted it. Oh my god. So Okay, so we have different. Um, I'm gonna go back to that. I don't want to go to that right now. So the definition of complete means what does it mean? Complete. So first we're gonna look at the adjective. So it has an adjective and it's also used as a verb. I'm not here to teach you guys English. I'm not an English major. I did not do well in English that well. I'm just gonna tell you now. So don't. Okay, but I'm just telling you it's an adjective and we know what that means. If you don't know, tag your English teacher. Okay. What does complete means? Complete means having all the necessary or appropriate parts. A complete list of course offered by the college. So you have everything that's necessary. That's what complete is. That means you need nothing else. Everything is met. You are complete. That's what the definition said. Not me. That's what it said. That means it is finished. If somebody used the words, you complete me, and then turn around and say we're not compatible, hmm, they contradict themselves. Okay. So what does complete means? Complete means it is finished. There's nobody else in this world. There's no one possibly in this world that you could ever see yourself with. That's what that means. If somebody says you complete me. So do you think I'm not gonna ask that question right now. So let's look at what compliments mean. Okay. What does compliment mean? For someone to compliment you, what does it mean? Oh my gosh. You guys, it's giving me it's giving a funny definition. What is compliment? Oh jeez. All right. So compliments mean that means I wanted to use a funny word. I wanted to say your yin yang. That's someone who how do you even say it? So it says it's like someone admire. I don't want to say admire. Hmm. I don't want to say that one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Now, three people are watching. Okay. When you compliment your partner, it means that it makes them feel compliments. I'm not getting what I mean. You Okay. I'm gonna give you guys a different one. I don't like that one that I have written down. So it says, so I don't know. I don't like this other definition. I had the other one written down and then hmm, Guys, I think that's okay. Oh, I see what happened. So now I got one person watching. How are you guys doing? I don't know what just happened to my notes. Holy moly. I just lost the whole thing. I'm gonna go back to revise it. Let's see. So, okay, let's start over. So, Hannah is joining. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. This is an
Okay.
interesting topic today.
Right?
What time is the show supposed to start?
So usually I come here by 8:30 and then I start at 9 o'clock. I try to end by 10.
Okay.
But welcome, it's been a while.
I know the way you're looking good, Emma.
Oh Lord. Well, thank you. I guess I should take the compliment.
You definitely should. You're shining. You're
Thank you.
glowing.
I'm
I hope it's
glowing.
not what I'm thinking.
It's not what you're thinking. It's not. It's not. Somebody told me that the other day. They were like, I hope it's not what I'm thinking. We got
Yeah,
a long
because
way to
you
go.
have this glow
Huh?
within you. I say, yeah, because you have this glow within you.
But you know, if it was what you guys are thinking, I usually don't glow.
I know. It's just an inside joke to
I
say you're
know.
looking nice.
I know. But yeah, welcome to the show. So as I was saying earlier, now you make me loosen up a little bit. I was like, wait, am I the only one on here? But it's okay. Um, what prompted this topic was at work. So I was talking to one of my colleagues, right? We went for lunch and she's really older. She's kind of like 55.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying something about her boyfriend. And before I even go further, I have a problem with people over the age of 45 calling their partner boyfriends and girlfriends. Like, I don't like to hear that. I just
Why?
think, I just think it's just, I don't know. I think that should be for younger folks. I think just call them your partner. Like the word boyfriend just sounds so childish. I don't know.
If you say boyfriend, maybe he will hurry up and propose. He'll hurry up and propose.
Yeah, but I just have a problem with that. So when every time she keeps saying my boyfriend, I'm just like, this lady needs to stop. Like, so what would your kids call their partner then? Like, you guys both would be saying boyfriend. But I just feel like I don't think people should do that. But anyway, that's my own opinion. But basically, she was talking about how she spent her entire life looking for her life partner. And right now, at her age, she just realized she found a man that completes her. But then she was trying to understand what does complete means and complement mean um when she was going through it all right. She said she kept looking for that person that would make her feel complete. And she's like she didn't realize that until now, like about a year ago, when when she met her boyfriend, and they've been together for, I guess she said, 2 years now, and she feels like he completes her. So then she said she just started to understand what complete means. Before, she thought complete means she would be completely happy, like there would be no wrongdoing. There would be like she shouldn't get like the person's not gonna hurt her in any possible way. And I just feel like that's what prompted this topic, because I just feel like a lot of us young folks, like we spend our entire life looking for, especially what the media tell us what a relationship's supposed to look like, and what we think in our own mind what relationship should looks like as well. I think we end up losing out on people that we actually should be with, instead of like trying to find our own happiness and make ourselves happy. We think that once we find that individual that's going to make us complete, we should be completely happy, and there would be nothing else that will make us unhappy, which I think is not reality, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what prompted this topic.
Hmm.
So,
It's very interesting because when you were saying it, I was thinking to myself, is there anything like a man that completes someone? We use that word just like how people would use the word my better half, my other half.
right. Soulmate.
I think, yeah, my soulmate. I think that the complete, finding someone that completes you and having someone that is your better half is something that go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you cannot have one or the other. So
Really?
someone that complements you will be someone that almost completes you, but no one can really complete you. Everyone is imperfect, right? Everyone has their flaws, but each of those flaws should should be complementary of each other. So what I'm trying to say is that, for example, if you're somebody that does not like to clean and you don't like to cook, you have a partner that likes to clean and cook. Those are the complementary aspects of a relationship, you know, like someone that can meet up with your flaws, someone that can accept you for who you are, and you guys move on and be happy together regardless of your flaws. That's what
Hmm.
I see it as. So completing somebody is almost the same as like complimenting someone. Complimenting someone and completing someone is like your shortcomings, that person can help you make, so you guys are one, you guys are a whole, because you're half, the other person is half. So you guys make up one together, with all your flaws and shortcomings.
Right.
So if you find someone that is not, if someone that does not compliment you, in the sense that the person, you know that someone is your better half, or your completion partner, only when that person does the things that you always looked for in another person. And if that person doesn't have that,
Mm.
then you cannot say they complete you or they complement you. Does that make sense?
It
That's
does.
all I have to say. So I think they go hand in hand. There's nothing like one or the other. They go hand in hand.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't think that someone can just compliment you and that's it? It has to be both.
Complimenting can be physical, right? When we're looking at
Right.
complimenting, most of the time people look at the physical aspect. You and the guy look good, or you and the female
Right.
look good. But compliments don't only come from physical, they also come
Right.
from character, other attributes of life, right? Like career, like personality wise. So compliments don't necessarily have to be physically attributed. It can also be um it can also be not only physical, but it can also be emotional, mentally, physically, spiritually. There's some people that wish they have someone that is very physical in terms of, I mean, spiritual in terms of religion. While others, there are others are not like that. So I think that they go hand in hand. You can have someone that complements you physically, and all of that is going to the completion part. You cannot have someone that complements you and you guys don't complete each other. I don't know if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because to me,
Yeah.
there's nothing like completing someone. But if we're looking at completing someone, you were looking more of like a um you guys complement each other to make yourself a whole as a couple, not as an individual.
Right. Right. But
That's my two
I
cents.
also, yeah, I agree with you. I also think that, I really think that sometimes we focus so much on the complete part that we missed out on the the complementary part of it, you know? Because this lady told us that she broke up a marriage, like two different marriages, because she felt like the person didn't complete her. So I just looked at it, I'm like, I guess it's relative, it depends on what the individual wants and they consider as complete to feel like the person has complimented them, you know?
Yeah, I
That's
get
an
what you're
interesting.
saying, but I
Is there a
think
difference? Is there a difference with that? Do you think there's a difference between being
I think
complete
I,
and
she didn't know she had not found that at the time that she the man or the person she was with was the person that she was with was her, like, you know how you date people and they end up realizing that those are not the people that you should be with because you guys have you guys are two opposite type of people. You understand?
yeah,
Yeah, so that's just what I think. But I personally think that that person was not meant to be her partner. Because if that
wow,
person was meant to be a partner, you see their flaws and you know if this is something you can tolerate in a marriage or not.
right. I also think like in society now, I think the definition of having somebody who completes you or compliments you has really changed over the years, because it just, I don't know, some of the things that I hear people break up marriages or relationship over, I'm just like, wow. Like, so you came this far and you didn't know all of that?
Exactly.
Like how did you get to this point and not knowing that?
Because they ignored the aspects that they should pay attention to at the beginning, and that
Right,
hoping that the person would change. And that's why I'm saying compliments don't only come physically. Sometimes you also have to be with that person, live with that person to see if they really compliment you. And compliments include seeing if the person's flaws are things that you can tolerate.
right.
So yeah.
So I read something, it says that having a partner who compliments you rather than sharing your thinking style and all your best skills can be beneficial, enjoyable aspects of a long-term relationship. So basically, someone who compliments you, study is saying that that means you will build a long-term relationship. That's
Yeah. So someone that you see yourself being with in the future, not just someone that you guys are sleeping with each other. You guys see yourself in public as the couple goals. There's a lot more to relationships than that. So yeah.
right, right. And I guess basically it went further is saying that having an individual who compliments you basically boosts the feelings of security, because you feel secure in your relationship and you trust of your partner that they will do well by you.
Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, I just wanted to talk about it because usually on Saturday I don't really get a lot of people because there's so much going on. Usually Sundays is when we really get a lot of people on to watch and stuff like that. But I just thought it was interesting to look at because somebody who's 55 years old is now just realizing, like, instead of her looking for someone to complete her, it would be beneficial to find someone who complements her and she finally learned that it took her 50 years. Well, maybe not 50. It took her a very long time to get to that point. And I'm just thinking, is that where society is pushing us?
No, I
Are
think
we
also too as you age, like your priorities and what you want in a relationship change. So
true?
maybe at the time she was more concentrating on physical looks and things like that, but not really looking at, okay, these are things that I should be paying attention to in my future husband and those kinds of things. So
Right. River says, "Bro, hi, how are you?" He's in the comment section today. Always great. He always gave us. You can join the show tonight, sir, if you're able to. But he said, "What is completion in a relationship?" I think it just depends on the individual what they want and what they need. Like in my relationship, I might want someone who, you know, so I'm just gonna say, like, for me, what I seek in my relationship was someone who we can work together as a team, as a partner. I like a team partnership type of thing where, you know, I wanted someone that when we have kids, which, they would be hands on and help with the kids. And even though, yeah, mom do the most, but I wanted my prayer and my wish was to find an individual who was family oriented and who understood me, who knew how to, when my craziness get in, they can understand me. When their craziness get in, I can understand them. So I think me seeking for that and all the other people that that I encounter, I was like, nah, I don't feel like I will get what I want. And if you meet someone else who mindset is on that same page, then I think that's where an individual comes from saying they feel complete. I'm not sure if that's right, but that's what I'm thinking. Because for me, that's where I feel fulfilled and satisfied and feel like, even though at the moment when you meet that partner, you don't think like whatever it is that you're looking for is not there. But I think you can kind of like see the full shadowing of whatever it is to come based on how that individual carry themselves and the people they hang around with, and by watching that lifestyle. But I think we're in a society now where everybody is feeling the vibe. So in that moment, people are making decisions and not really thinking about the long term or whatever happening. And there's this cliche word what it's like you only live once. And I'm like, how do you know? Have you died and you realize that you only live once? So River says pros to answer your question. I just think it just depends on what an individual is looking for. And if they find that other person that feels like they want the same thing, they can say they feel complete. Anna, what's your thoughts?
I guess that's right. If you find somebody that has the same views and goals with you, you can assume that the person makes you complete, right? But you
Right,
cannot be complete if you and that person are not on the same page. So it goes with the compliments. Compliments almost mean the same.
right.
So I agree.
Also, yeah, go ahead. Also, I was just going to say, I think our society, it's kind of like making individual feels like just living that happy moment and having a good time traveling. I think it just depends on the age group that you're actually asking these questions to. Because if you were to ask someone who doesn't have children, I think their answer would be different. It would be different from what my answer would be, or someone who have it all, who's rich and have money and things like that. Maybe their whatever, maybe their definition of whatever a complete to feel completion in a relationship, I guess it would be different. So it just depends on what type of walk of life you're coming from and what it is you want your future to look like. And I think when sometimes people get too excited, I think I had a topic before on here where someone I had stated that I watch another podcast, and this guy and his wife was talking about when people are looking seeking relationship, they really need to sit and be realistic with themselves of what exactly they're looking for, because sometimes some people are looking for soulmate, and do you understand what soulmate means? Like, are you looking for someone to connect on a deeper level on the soul, like emotional part? Maybe that person is not emotional and they just want someone to be with them for them to be, a partner and work together. Or some people are just looking for someone to do activities with. They love outdoors. So it's really, I guess it just depends on who's answering that question about completion in a relationship. Sometimes we hear women say a lot they're looking for their dream guy. Dream guy, write them down. And we've also seen funny memes where people talk about when you're at the age of 30, that's when women's light bulbs start going up because, of course, childbearing age is, women are born with all their eggs, and as they age, is the eggs are dying. So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna. So I guess, like Anna said, it depends on who's, the different stages of life, and I guess when you get older, your priorities change. So I don't know if we answer your question, River says pro, but I just I just think we should change the narrative in what we teach our daughters about being complete, because sometimes people, I think, misunderstand having a partner, and having that partnership into, and then sometimes people feel like if they don't have that partner they don't feel complete. And that's where I was like, I wanted to know what's the difference between being complete. I and I just want people to know being complete is about what you want. How do you feel about yourself? Only you can make yourself happy. I hope people can influence your happiness, in my opinion, but I don't think you finding, and I might be wrong. I don't think you finding your dream guy or your dream woman will make you complete. I think it's just the concept of who that person is, and if your goals and dreams align together to be for you to be happy with that. I don't know. And you there. All right. So let me look for something to add to this. Hmm. So someone had asked a question. Someone sent me a question one time in one of the show. I don't really remember, but I remember reading it. And I remember that person had asked a question. Um, they're like, why is it that, I hope I remember that question correctly. I think he had asked me and said, why is it that when you compliment, hi River says Pro, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How have you been?
Oh, I've been trying. Yeah,
Okay. Welcome
just
to the show.
we're getting a lot of surprises here. We just got a snowfall when we thought it was time to wear
Um,
t-shirts and shorts.
right here too. Like it's been raining all week. Oh, actually it started yesterday. Yeah. Well, that's Mother Nature for you.
Yep. So what's up?
Mother, not much. we just, I wanted the topic to be a little bit light today because usually Saturday we don't really get a lot of people on.
Uh,
And, just wanted to kind of like chit chat a little bit. I've been MIA for a little bit. I wanted to go live in the middle of the week when I was off, but I
okay.
ended up being really busy and not coming. So I'm like, nah, I can't cut off today.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's show up and talk about something. But tomorrow I have a really good one that I
Okay.
want us to talk about. But yeah, tonight we're talking about, should your partner complete you, or should people look for a partner that complete them or complements them? Um,
Yeah, because what I was looking at
mhm.
or social perspective or sociological perspective, completion like is like in other words, it's like I mean a partner being together and that's from a social for different perspective. It's like say for example, you if a guy tells a girl say you complete me or you complete my life, in that turn mean like I couldn't do without you. You're like a real friend, you a partner, you're everything, you kind of complete my life. But um and whereas uh compliment, you compliment a partner, hey Fee, yeah, your husband like, yeah, great job, doing this. But my thing is with a completion, yeah, it's like he's being a part of your life, he's there for you. So when do we does over completion, does it leads to like realization on the woman part, so called? Let me use the term laziness. I mean, I don't want to offend women, but let me just be blunt. Laziness, because you got a man to take you over the plate, he's gonna hold your hands, he's always gonna be there. Whereas some women will say, well, you know what? Maybe I just need a compliment. I can do it for myself. You know what? Just tell me, just appreciate me. That's all I need. I wouldn't need you all the time. Yes, I would like to, but if you are not there, whereas the partner that completion, yeah, oh baby, I can do it. All you, where will you be with? Now, what does it put in our man head? He's thinking like, oh, so this woman, she can probably can stand on her own. I mean, I hope I'm getting it right. I'm just
Yeah,
looking at it for, yeah, this woman, she can stand on her own. And like I
yeah,
said, the compliment woman will be like, yeah, I'm an independent woman. And feel with the rise of feminism, I think more women are kind of leaning towards compliment more than completion, where I think completion is, from my understanding, completion comes with a lot of dependency, whereas
right.
compliments come with just, yeah, when I do something in the house, baby, just appreciate me. Appreciate me for the laundry, appreciate me for the taking care of the kids. I will continue to do it even if you're not there. I don't know what you guys think.
I like how you actually thought about this and asked that. Um, that's a good one because I honestly think it's happening a lot. I think a lot of people, when they hear the phrase "you complete me," they just feel like, so. Before I even jump into it, I'm just gonna say I always like to use myself as an example.
Mhm.
So the very first long-term relationship I was in, um, I was a little bit younger. I don't think that relationship should have been. I don't think I should have given it that length of time that I did.
Hmm.
But I was just saying in my mind,
Mhm.
because on paper and what everybody else saw, like before, I don't know if you heard what Anna said earlier. Everybody saw both of us as, wow, you guys look great together. You guys love education. On paper, you guys look great. But
Yeah.
what people didn't understand, there was a whole lot going on. Oh man, he wins. Come back. Come back. Come back. I'm gonna wait for him to come back. Oh no, I think he accidentally got himself up. Shoot. Let's bring him on. Come back, River Sis Pro. I hope you're listening. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna wait for him to come back a little bit. Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back on because I want to answer his question.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can hear me? River Sis Pro, you can hear me? Is he frozen? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear
I
me?
hear you, but I don't think he can hear you.
Oh, let me mute and unmute him. Can you hear me, River Sis Pro?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you earlier.
Can you guys see me?
Yes, yes. Now it's good. No, I was answering your question. I'm saying, right, in the previous relationship, the first long-term relationship I was in, I don't think I should have given it that much of a time that I did. But
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay, good. So in my mind, I kept it going long because of what I was hearing outside. Everybody was telling us we look great together. In my mind, I thought we looked great together. Women, we start a thing, especially when you're younger. You're like, yeah, we're gonna have beautiful babies. Especially that's where my mind was. I wanted to have kids eventually. So I'm like, okay, our kids are gonna be this way, and I'm planning all this in my head. And that relationship was not really going great behind closed doors. Like it was. Oh shoot, he's gone again, but I think he's listening.
Makes
Yeah, it
sense.
didn't really go that great, and I think a lot of us women we try to hold on to things because in, in the public eye it looks great, and everybody opinion, like the great Judge Lento, the divorce court lady will say is um she was saying in the opinion of the public, in the court of public opinion, you start to doubt yourself why you want to leave that relationship, that you probably shouldn't be in it because it's not going anywhere, and you struggle with that and you try to figure out, especially when you're young. And then when I finally started thinking about things that I really wanted, and I felt like, okay, maybe we really aren't complete. Maybe this is not this is not what I want. Instead of what everybody else's want, this is not what I want. And started to put my thoughts together and started to think about it. That's when I made that decision and said, you know what, it's time to walk out of here because this is not gonna work. And I think that individual stalled me along because of how naive I was. And I think I would say took advantage of the situation because I had said that I felt like he completes me and there's no one else in this world that I wanted to be with. And I said that, man, if we were to ever break up, that's why I think we should all be very careful with our words, what we say to people that are in our lives. Not that you don't trust them, but sometimes like they use certain things against you, and you got to know the individual that you're actually dealing with. And for me in that moment, I don't think I really knew who I was dealing with, but I was just so naive and just was like, "Ah, I'm in love and I feel like he completes me and there's absolutely nobody else that I want to be with. I don't care who says why, all the red flags, just ignore everything." And just kept that relationship going. But then one day I was sitting somewhere and I overheard, I don't think he thought that I heard his conversation, but I think we went somewhere. And while I was sitting with the other people he was discussing with, his friends, they were somewhere else. I don't think he really thought that I could hear them. And the friends made a statement, and I think that was my wake up call. The friend made a statement saying, "Wow, you really took that young girl and you're really enjoying every moment of it." And he's like, "Well, I can do whatever I want. She's not gonna go anywhere because she loves me more than I love her." And that really triggered me.
That's very sad.
Yeah, hello?
So I want to say something about that, and then
Hold
I
on
have a
one second.
comment.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, were you listening?
Yeah, I was listening, but then I went up. I tried to position this phone on this little thing and keep falling. And yeah, but Fee,
Oh, okay.
I didn't get the end of what you said. Maybe you read when the
Yeah, let me repeat it. So I was
what's our
saying,
name? What's our friend name? The
oh,
young
that's
girl?
Anna. That's
Oh,
Anna.
Anna. Okay, Anna.
Yeah.
Hi, River says Crow.
Ah,
Crow.
Anna. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, so just to rewind a little bit, the reason I
Mhm.
wanted to share a little bit about me before I answer that question you asked was I think that really your question really took me back to think about something that happened to me that I experienced. I was saying that I was in a long-term relationship where I gave it all. I was really, really young, and that person was a little bit older than me. And I think I give it all that I could, and I just felt like we were perfect together. We were gonna have a great relationship, and nobody else could change my mind, whatever anybody says. And but in reality, behind closed door, that relationship had ran a course, and it shouldn't have lasted longer than it did. But because I was so naive and I wanted it so bad, and I think because everybody else's opinion counted so much to me, and I was like, okay, well, everybody see this. Why can I? Why am I not seeing it? Maybe he just needs to grow up. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just need to figure it out. And I think a lot of us women, we do that a lot when and I think men too go through it. I don't just want to say women, but I think people in general, we go through that because of what people around us think and what we ourselves are feeling. We're doubting ourselves. And now I just felt like I wanted it to work. And one day, I started really thinking about our relationship, but I still didn't want to leave. We went somewhere and he was hanging out with his friends. I was sitting somewhere else, but I don't think he could hear that I don't think he thought that I could hear them.
Uh-huh.
And I know I had most of the time said that I didn't want our relationship to end. I really love him, and I didn't. And if I don't think there's anybody else in this world that I wanted to be with, and I think that our relationship, you know, was everything that I needed in life, and he completes me. And if we were to ever break up, I don't know how I will even like make it. So that's what now I'm just like people should really be careful. We're human beings. You can't put your all into not that you don't trust your partner, but you have to be very careful what you say because we as human we tend to take advantage of each other. That's our nature because we want to strive and we want life to be good for us. So in that moment, while we were out, we were as a family member place, and I think I was sitting with somebody else, but I could hear them, and he was talking with his friends, and someone made a statement and said that, "Wow, you and this girl have gone far, and all the things you've been doing, she's still around, and da da da." I could hear them, and
Wow.
then he said that, and he made this statement, and I quote, he said, and I'll never ever forget that he said that she's not going anywhere. She loves me so much. She don't know nothing about
Ooh,
anything,
wow.
and that she loves me more than I love her.
Jeez.
And that really triggered me. I think that was my wake up call where I felt so uncomfortable being over there, and I got really really upset. Like I got upset with him. I got upset with myself. And I got upset because I think my family and friends and other had tried to kind of like warn me, but I didn't really want to listen. So I was just like, wow. But when we came back, I didn't really say anything because I'm somebody who I hold things in my heart really strong until you really make me mad, and then I just burst, you know. But I was really angry and I didn't know what to do about it. And the entire week, like I was just thinking, wow, it kept ringing in my mind, like, wow, he really feels like I love him more than he loves me. What am I doing here? You know, like, why am I here? So that's when I started planning my exit plan. But it was so hard to do it because when you're young and that's the only person you know and that's the person you want to be with, it was
Yeah.
really so. I see where you're saying, you know, that's what I'm thinking about when you say that sometimes people take advantage of things. It's true. I have experienced it, you know, when you say things to people they might use that against you. And sometimes saying someone complete you, I think we have to be careful with it, but you have to know who you're talking to and who you're saying it to. And I don't, and since then, I always follow my instincts. Since then, whenever I have a hunch about something,
Hmm.
I know it's right, you know, and I exit that relationship um, it was painful, but it was something that I really needed to do. And I was really happy that I did before it was late because I didn't want to have kids with someone that I know I didn't want to be with. And I'm glad that that never happened to me. So, yeah, I don't know. So I definitely agree that people can take advantage of situation when you say like you complete means and there are women who don't appreciate it if a man is there doing everything. There are men who do it too to women. So I just think as people in general, you just need to know who you're dealing with and you should be careful with who you really put your heart to because some people don't mean well and they will really, they will do bad to you, you know. But yeah, I
So
just wanted to share that to kind of like, yeah.
that's great. So Anna, which one you like? You like the completion or the compliment, or you want both?
I think that there's nothing like completion, my dear,
Hmm.
because everyone is very different,
Hmm.
and like I mentioned earlier, everybody has their flaws. You know, when you're with people, they just make.
Oh, you mute yourself.
Oh, sorry. When you're with someone, you're looking for someone that matches what you're missing, like your flaws.
Yeah.
So I think that there's nothing like
But
completion.
but but okay. Let me okay. To fee. Let me. I'll try to. What am I? Oh, see, trouble now the pen writing. So fee, you made some points. So I want to come back to you.
Mhm.
So yeah, look. That was fascinating. But
It
but
happens every day. Women, men, they go through that. People do that,
yeah,
you
but
know.
I did said it. So you, but okay, in reality, this guy already completed you, but
In
because
my
you,
mind,
yeah, because you were looking at public perception, you like, oh,
yeah.
we so good together, and and then when every time maybe when he does something wrong, not in the public, you always think, well, this guy can be wrong. Maybe it's me. Maybe I got a problem. But
Right.
I think your trigger was when he went in public. What if that guy had not gone in public, or what if you had not heard that conversation? Because you know very well that you were maybe a little bit maybe naive. I mean, so to speak.
I was. I was.
So but then when he I mean that was the reality though. I mean, let's admit. But the fact that he said it in the open, was that what humiliated you? What if he had not said it in the public? You are just go along with the ride, right?
I mean, it's different when you, as an individual, think that that's what someone thinks, but it's different when someone actually voices it out. If I honestly think so, at that point of our relationship, it was rocky. I was already saying I wanted to exit, but he was always telling me, give it time, let's work on it, like saying things that I wanted to hear in that moment, right? And I'm someone like I'm very, how do I say, I'm lazy to date. Let's just say that. Like I don't like to give I don't like to really entertain a lot of people because I'm very straightforward.
Yeah,
Because if you say something to me that I don't like, I'm just gonna say I'm not interested. Sorry. Because I don't want to like waste my time.
yeah,
And at the moment, I wasn't really dating just for the fun of it. I was dating like at a very young age. I think I was just interested in building a relationship already. Like I didn't really want to do the whole date and have fun, you know. But after that relationship, I did date for fun for a little bit. But before then, I just wanted someone that I wanted to build a life with. Like I just wanted something serious. I didn't want to do that, but I knew that I had a hunch that he didn't like he cared about me, but it was at a different level. And I didn't think like it's different when you're hearing someone say it. It's different when you know and you're like, does he care? Does he really love me? Or do am I putting too much into this than this person is? And the reality is if you're asking yourself that, it's already true you're putting too much into it, you know? Because if somebody else was, then you wouldn't be asking that question. But at that age, I think I was about like what, 21-ish, you know? And in my mind, I'm like, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm just being a girl, just complaining and being annoying, or
yeah,
maybe within time, I'm in school now and he's older than me, he's out of school, he probably thinking about something else. And for me in that moment, I wanted to complete school, get a job, and be able to, support as well, contribute. But in that moment, I was working too and contributing while I was going to school. So it wasn't something like, like I was just sitting, like he had full control and was supporting me. I was supporting myself as well. I had jobs and stuff like that. But it was just having that partner because my mindset was always when I'm in school, have someone that we grow together. And then once we're done with school, we graduate and, like we get a job and we're doing life together. But he had different plans. Like he was entertaining different things, doing different things, but at the same time wanted me to behave like I was his wife, like doing everything else. So and everybody just saw us like, oh, you're so cute, things looks great. But it's
yeah.
because I don't, from the outside it looks like that, but from the inside there was so many things going on that, I can't really talk about on here, but there was so much stuff happening that just didn't that knowing me now, I probably would like, what? In 2 seconds wouldn't happen, you know?
Yeah,
But to answer that question, yes, I think because he actually said it out loud with everybody there. I think that was my reality. That was something that I really needed to hear, even though I knew it. It's not that I didn't know. I knew that I was putting maybe more than 100% into it. He was probably putting about maybe 35% into it just to keep me there lingering every now and then. But just the fact that, and I'm thinking like, if I'm sitting here and we're both here and you're talking to your friends about this, what else do you talk about? So I'm a very realistic person. So at that point, it was just like, no.
so yeah, I know, and yeah, and I talk about it's nothing like completion, but from a male perspective, let me speak about myself.
Uh-huh.
I see completion as being too much of a broad term for me to commit to, though. I mean, it's just me.
I
I'm on
agree.
a more, yeah, I'm more on the complimentary side of things where I will compliment. Yeah, I will come in, but the completion, yeah, it's like, look, I'm a person. Let me admit, I have little problem when it comes to some things that some women will really take serious. Like for example, say buying gift on like holidays. Thing like sometimes when I see my partner got a lot of stuff, sometimes I get confused, guys. I don't know what to buy. She got watch. She got maybe toy watches. She got. I'm thinking like, what? And then you,
Just
you,
give her
you
money. She'll be fine.
yeah, but then sometimes too the money, and then you got other guys. Sometimes you go to work. You know how you ask your co-worker like, "Hey man, what did you get for?" Yeah, I got a bouquet. I got a this, and then you think like, but then it's the kind of thing. And then sometimes I forget birthday too, my people. Let
Oh
me.
no, that's a big one. You should never
That's the thing.
forget.
So that you see, that's the thing. Sometimes I even for like my children, like sometimes my older daughter, like sometimes she like her birthday will come. Like sometimes I don't know, like I will remember it, but when the exact day come, then I just forget to say happy birthday, and sometimes the
Set
children,
your
but,
alarm on your phone from today.
like,
After this show, go on your alarm, your
yeah,
clock, and for all the birthdays.
that's true. But then and then you think like if these little details that young women take seriously, if I mean if I don't you think like you will see me as an incomplete guy. Like there are things, maybe your expectation. Let me use the word expectation because when you say low, when a woman say, I don't know, I haven't really heard a lot of men say it to tell a woman. Maybe I mean, or maybe I haven't encountered a lot of men that would say, well, this woman complete my life. It's mostly. Now I'm not trying to say women are more, but it's like you mostly hear women say, oh, we're all this guy, he completes my life. Women will say women are more like, they will go out there, they want to let their friends know how important their man is in their life. As
Right.
yeah, like you said, but I got like you won't often hear men talking about, oh, the woman complete my life because they
That's
maybe they perceive it as being weak, or maybe their friend
mm,
will say, what kind of men talking about woman
it's
complete it?
because men have different interests, and I think that
Right.
when you're dating the woman, I'm sure you were not like that when you before you had kids, or before
Mhm.
you guys got married. You used to remember her birthday. You
Yeah.
used to remember. So your interests change. So
Mhm.
if you're a man and you're somebody that forgets or take things lightly um that should have been taken seriously, something is wrong. It means that you're not paying attention to your wife or your partner's interests like you used to, only because you've won her already. And
Mhm.
you need to go back and do those things that made her fall in love. And that's why I always tell people, when you're married, it does not mean that you stop dating. It should be the beginning of dating. You should start dating your wife all over again to keep that love. Because when you're married, you kind of get comfortable, right?
Right.
Where those things I used to do to convince her to be with you, you stop doing those things because, oh, she doesn't care about it anymore. I've gotten her. We're now married. We have kids. But you forget dating your wife. You're
Mhm.
I
supposed
think
to date your
priorities
wife.
change. I
Yeah,
think priorities
priorities change,
change.
but people's interests don't change like that. And that's what keeps people's love and affection for each other. The same things I used to do for her when you guys were dating that made her love you, if you continue doing those things, you will notice a lot of things in your life will change, including your sex life, including the way you feel, that you will look forward to coming home and seeing your wife and your multiple kids. Like, you know, so I think that, but when you stop doing those things that you used to do when you guys were married, you guys start becoming like brother and sister, and you guys become, your lives become boring. And I think that you need to look into doing those things I used to do, including even if you don't know a good gift to give her. Like Miss Fee said, you give her money, put it in an envelope with a nice little card expressing yourself. It always goes a long way.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend too much money on
Mhm.
gifts or bouquets or flowers. Women always love money, but having a word to remind them of how much you love them always comes a long way. Even if you don't want to
Right.
tell her, baby, I love you, look for a card at CVS or Walgreens or something that expresses how you feel about her. And trust me, it will rekindle that hate or that anger or that uh what's the word, comfortability.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, so just use that opportunity to go back to those things that she used to enjoy back then. Try to do them once in a while. Yes, priorities have changed. You may be a daddy now and have multiple things to do with the kids, and you don't even have time for yourself because you're working a lot now. But
Mm-hmm.
use that opportunity, even if it's once in a month. You tell her, or one day wake up and surprise her, baby, let's go for lunch, baby, let's go for dinner, or wake up, send her some sweet
Mm,
messages during the day. Those little
I'm
things.
not
Sometimes people want to feel appreciated, and that's
right.
why I always tell people there's nothing like completion. Because everyone has flaws. The reason why you be in a relationship with somebody is because you want there's a little void that you're feeling, and when that person comes in the picture, they help you complement those aspects where you feel the void, you know
Right.
but that person can never complete you, because there's always something that you're missing about your life, that you will feel like, okay, this person is boring, or I'm no longer interested. That's why there's always a want. But if you look for those things, that person, that is something that you can tolerate, that person helps increase your stability, or increase your sense of feeling as a whole. That's what I would say a compliment. Compliments are not only physical, but they can be spiritual, they can be physical, they can be emotional. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I also think in relationship there is a point where you feel satisfied. And I think maybe that's where people think it's completion, like they feel complete. But I think you can be satisfied. And like what Miss Anna was saying, you know, um, it can be hard. Like I think women sometimes do we're at fault when it comes to after kids get involved, because our entire focus and everything goes to the kids, right? When we
Mm-hmm.
wake up, that's the first people we think about. That's the first thing we do, and that's where we go. But I think the other partner should be able to kind of like retransition you to that. And I think what she said kind of like really helped with that, because I would say we are just starting to kind of like figure out, okay, maybe we should start dating again. We should start going on a date, because we get so caught up. I would say for the first, because we had our kids back to back. So it has been like, okay, we just focus on this. So it's kind of like I'm tired. And then we get into these little like bickering where it's like, oh, you annoy me or I annoy you. But it's not that the person annoyed you. It's just like you've been so focused on taking care of the little ones, making sure everybody's okay, and then now it's like the one thing that the other person do annoys you, and then the next day. But one thing I would say I really like about my relationship is like if I annoy him or he annoy me, we just need like few days. And it's like it never happened. We don't even revisit it. It's just like, oh, we just start laughing. Or maybe like in an hour, things just like go back to whatever it's supposed to be. And that's where I started thinking like, okay, maybe this is what we really are meant to be together. It's those moments that you really think about and say, okay, maybe we are meant to be. Maybe we should figure out something to do, because everything you do now revolves around the kids. Everything's around the kids, and we forget. But I also want people to give each other grace as well, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to understand the person's working a lot of shift, the other person's working a lot of shift too. When they come home, they're probably tired, and then you two you're tired, and then the house. I would say I'm guilty. If I come home and the husband and the kids are home and they messed up the house, oh, my day is messed up. I'm annoyed because I'm like, I didn't leave this like this. Why did you guys do it this way? Instead of just coming home and just understand that life is life. And that's something that I'm working on. Life is life and things is going to happen. The world's not going to end. Just relax, and then tomorrow you can clean it up, because tomorrow you come back, it's going to be a mess with little kids. but you're thinking like, oh, you're here, you should be able to do this, you should be able to do that, but maybe that person is tired too, or maybe like they just didn't have the chance to do it. Maybe time ran out. So sometimes I think just thinking about it, and I think our generation, we get so frustrated really fast that we end up making decisions that we shouldn't make in those moments. And I think we say things that we shouldn't say. But I think overall, I would just give you guys a quick example. So I have an employee, right? And she is used to being assigned to a certain unit, right? And she's been working in that unit for like 2 years straight. So now, all of a sudden, because we needed her somewhere else, we moved her to do certain thing else. Guys, I can't really say much about the job because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
But but we moved her somewhere else to take on that, right? And she got really, really upset. Like, she was so upset to the point where she was like, she's leaving. And I'm like, you're gonna leave because you think you being assigned somewhere else for 2 years straight because you haven't been needed somewhere else. So you're upset that you're going to leave. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go to HR. I'm like, okay, if you want to go to HR, that's fine. But really think about it. If you go to HR, what are they gonna tell you? You know? So she got upset anyway, long story short. She came back down. She wanted to quit and everything. She came back down. I let her make her own decision. Came back down, decided to start work and went on work. So through the course of the shift, I rounded and I kept checking on her. I was like, are you okay? Do you need any assistance? Do you need help? She said, yeah, she's fine. And then before the end of the shift, she came down to me and asked me a question and said, was I wrong for feeling how I feel? And I said, no, you weren't wrong. Your feelings are valid, but it's the way you reacted, you know? And I think that's what a lot of us do in relationship. It's not that how you feel is not valid, it's not important. It's just you need to figure out how to voice it out. And I think we women, how we voice it out sometimes we are nagging, we say things under our breath like we're either cousin, you know, like just carrying on. It's not, and in that moment I don't think most men really understand it, but I think sometimes it's just, and then it turns to something else, especially if there's men that have short temperaments and it end up turning into something big. It's not the situation, it's how you handle it.
So,
Because, go ahead.
yo, yeah, you can go ahead.
No, 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 I'm just
Okay,
saying
yeah.
it's not the
So,
situation.
yeah, so,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. So, and I talk about I don't want. Okay, so guys, how much how much do other factors play in? I know Anna talk about the more you stay together and you stop doing things, you eventually look like relatives, and which is true though.
It's
You know,
true.
yeah, and then but then how much do other external factor, or I wouldn't say external, other factor, say your work schedule, your children. Say for example, okay, we plan stuff on the weekend, and then boom,
Hmm.
like our schedules are alternating. So when she, you know what
Right,
I mean, like one person work this like weekend, you're barely. I mean, you guys know America. Sometimes it's crazy.
right,
Yeah. So
yeah.
your place on the weekend. Oh, this my weekend to work. Okay, let's wait for next weekend. Next weekend, you look boom. They schedule me to work. Okay, that
That's me
Then don't
right
wait
now.
until the weekend. Don't wait until the weekend. During the week, maybe you guys can take even an hour. You can have something in the house. It doesn't have to be outside all the time. Sometimes do
Girl, you're
something in the
talking that
house.
stuff.
yeah. And look, and I know you just said it like that, but look, there are like
I'm
I said,
not. I used to be that one that has to go out, but
yeah.
now I've realized that you know how they say if what doesn't come to you, you go to.
When rooms, you bring,
Well, they say when there's a saying that they said if you don't go to Caesar, Caesar will come to you, something like that. I've
Mhm.
right.
forgotten the term, but just basically saying if you're unable to make real dates because of schedule changes, sometimes even surprise her at work if it, take her lunch. That's a sweet gesture.
Yeah.
But then you really
Yeah.
gotta know because even children too, now I don't want to put the stuff on children.
Yeah.
Don't you think that the the introduction of children because you said it's true when you're no child here, everything's sweet. You want to see her, and when the children start coming, boom, boom, one, two, three. Now you're
Ah,
thinking about babysitter, like you can't, yeah, you
the
can't
stress
get
of
everything.
life.
Yeah,
Involve the children. Involve the children. You guys can say, okay, let's go get some ice cream, ma. Take your
mm.
children, pack your children, let's
But
go.
is that romantic enough? And I'm talking
It's
with I know the
it's
ice
not
cream
it's
part.
not about it's not about romantic enough. Like I said, the
Mm,
time, the quality time, the little effort you're making to make her happy is good enough.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if it's a real
So,
woman, a woman that understands that you're making efforts to make her happy, trust
mhm.
me, she won't see it like that. Even if it's 1 minute, 5 minutes of you guys' time together, she would really appreciate that. Trust me.
and I agree.
And
I
sometimes
agree with Anna.
you can even on weekends when you're home, the time that you're home, say, baby, go get a more sleep. Let me take care of the kids while you take a 1 hour nap or 5 hours nap. Those
Girl,
little
African
things
men.
make a difference. Trust me.
See what you talking about African men, you see trouble?
African men. I think you got.
No, it's not. And you're talking about going to the job. I remember one time my third full year in the United States, from Africa, we're not used to this whole flower bouquet. This one dude, I was at Walmart. I think I don't know his wife or whatever. He gave me the flower. He gave me the flower to take it to the lady. I was just a regular person going in the store. I think maybe they probably had a misunderstanding or something. Yeah, he gave me the flower and I took it to the. He said, "Please give it to this." He showed me. He was standing outside. That was
Uh-huh.
looking creepy. I think that was his wife or whatever. But then I held the flower in my hand. Back then I didn't know, but that was expensive flower. Now, as a retrospect, because it was now I know the difference between the and I took her to the lady. She was among her friends. And then you know how to be having the name, the little thing in there. And she
Yeah.
just got mad and just tossed the flower. She was angry. Who gave it to you? I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, hey. And I just walk away. So, when you're talking about, like, I mean, I understand popping up at the job. I don't know if I should say popping up, like going to the job and, doing other things. I mean, to me, sometimes, like some women, they keep their relationship outside of their co-workers, like they don't, like recently I went to Liberia. My cousin, his wife, she's the deputy minister for the education. Like, I was the only person who goes to the office. He goes there, like, he just he don't he he just don't think. So I think maybe some people, like I say, it depends too. Different women have different reaction to things. So
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah, that's why you do what works well for your partner. So
Right.
every
It's
woman is different.
understanding them. No, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so. I think these things. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's true. I mean, making a lot of sense. But I think, and you're right. There's nothing like completion because it's so of a broad term. It's kind of hard. So, uh, don't you people think that, speaking from a man's view or man perspective? I
Uh-huh.
mean, doesn't it put a lot of um I shouldn't say burden because I like woman business before I feel like we're burdening the don't you think it puts so much strain, like it puts so much like like always second guessing myself, like now I gotta do this, I gotta do that, always scheduling myself, always
No,
doing,
no.
trying to play trying to like figure out what my next move would be because I kind of like, always trying to arrange things, and then it kind of like, like, what, I can't. I mean, don't you think it puts a little strain on us men when we have to, not overly complete or overly commit, but trying to, where some men will say, well, yeah, yeah, I mean, look, like you hit the nails on the head, and like, if to say, and I've had a situation before where we just feel like brothers and sisters, like, like seriously, like something
Yeah.
like like she doesn't care. But guys, the day will just pass. It said that she doesn't care, or like you women, do you think that she taking it in the back of her mind? Like, I will not say nothing because sometimes some holiday will pass, some things will just pass, things that we used to do together, and we're like, oh well, okay, it's going anyway. We move on, and then
She probably
eventually,
forgot. She
uh,
probably forgot because sometimes, and that's what I think someone had asked me, what does it feel like to have a partner to be with them like 24/7? And
mhm,
I believe, in my opinion, it's just like someone who got your back.
hmm,
That's why I think men should be observant, and I think women should be observant as well, because she truly probably just forgot. Because women likes to celebrate things compared to men, right? So I think it's just looking at the details. You men are not really that great with details. Some men are, but most men aren't, great with details. And if you see like there's a holiday coming that you guys usually celebrate or something, and you're not seeing like the typical moves that usually happen before the holiday hit, maybe it's time. Maybe you should give the hint and say,
mhm,
hey, maybe with work she has so much on her mind. Maybe she's stressed
mhm,
and she's not thinking about it. And I think that's where we as couple need to do a little bit great more work on that, because sometimes we just think, oh, maybe she's mad, let me just let her be, or maybe she's in her mood, let me let her be, but that's why there's two of you, because if one person is not, like picking up the pace, then somebody else should be able to pick it up. So she probably just forgot, and then by the time that reached, and she was like, you know what, I'm exhausted. Because women do so much. And, sometimes I think you men like, oh, she got it, even though she doesn't talk or doesn't say, oh, I need help. You guys only hear it when she's frustrated now, you know? She will, and I'm saying that because I'm guilty. Like, I will do everything and out until like I'm tired, I'm exhausted and frustrated. Then you'll hear me complain and be like, "You're not gonna help? Like, why?" You know. So it's like you always think. But I used to watch this lady on TV, and a lot of people used to wonder, why do I watch her? Because it's divorce court, right?
yeah.
But in her courthouse, she never really, only maybe one or a few people will actually go through the divorce process. But I used to watch her because she gave a lot of great advice. She said when she first married her husband, when they got married, she thought he will automatically know to clean up, pull the trash out, everything. And she will have the baby hanging on her. She's cooking, and he's sitting there watching a movie. And she's trying to understand, like, does he not understand that I need help? And then she said one day she kept doing it and she would be yelling at him. And then one day her mom told her and said, you do everything anyways, so why should he come and help you? If you need help, just ask.
Hmm.
And then she said that changed their marriage, the entire thing about their marriage. So whenever she needed it, she's like, man, I had that sucker working every second. She's
Wow.
like, she's like, I was telling, can you put the trash away? And don't ask and expect it to happen right away, because that means you're demanding. Just ask and expect it's gonna happen. Don't ask and think like in 5 seconds it should happen. Then you go and take it. Then that's what's gonna happen all the time. So if you ask, just leave it there. He'll take it out. So I really like watching her because she gives a lot of life skills and a lot of relationship advices that, so in the relationship, you might be tired today, you came from work, nobody knows what you handle out there. Maybe there was a reckless driver that you escaped, maybe at work your boss, spoke to you in a way that you didn't like, or maybe your co-worker, maybe the job dynamics changed. It's a whole lot. You men don't really talk about your day to day.
Yep.
Women are more voiceful about that.
Yep.
So maybe she too had it on the other hand. But I think your question was like, don't it put a lot of stress? And I think that's where a lot of us need to really understand. Those gestures shouldn't be like planned. You know, it shouldn't be like
Mhm.
something like, oh, it's required. It's something like you randomly do it. It's kind of like an appreciation. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she was like, in her house, her her kids, they pay them every 2 weeks, but she doesn't tell them that it's a pay. It's kind of like an allowance, but they earn it. Like they work, they do the dishes and things like that. They clean, you know, and then every 2 weeks they get their pay. But she tells them she doesn't want them. She doesn't tell them it's a pay. She tells them it's an appreciation. You know, so maybe that's something you can create within yourself, but don't start something that you won't finish. Because women, we tend to hold things against you guys. It'll be like, oh, you used to do that, now you don't do it anymore. Oh, what happened? It
Yeah.
was just a spell. You went and bought me flower. Now these days I can't see it anymore. So
Anymore,
it's,
yeah.
like, so it's kind of like a conversation. Maybe like something we create in our home is like we try to get our kids in bed no later than 9 o'clock. So that way we have about an hour or two just to have time with each other to talk,
Yeah.
whatever is going on, just to have conversation. Sometimes we don't even talk, but we just sit here and laugh about funny shows and stuff like
Watch
that,
movies, yep.
you know, and you and I learned that from that lady too. You don't want the kids as much you want the kids involved, you're both adult. There are certain things you don't want the kids involved in as well. So even like just getting ice cream in a house, like Anna said, if the
Hmm.
kid's gone to bed, maybe that's something you guys sit watching a movie and just eat an ice cream. It doesn't have to be major. Or maybe you can say, oh, you go take a bath, I'm making some ice cream, let's sit and watch a movie. You might not, and my husband don't even watch the movie. He fall asleep.
Yeah, no, I ain't got time to watch.
Right,
I'm like a reality. I'm like a more like a documentary guy. I'm not into like movie. No, I'm more like
right.
like like CSI and forensic crime
Me
story,
too.
like real life story. Like I don't. But
Yeah, you're not in it, but if your partner in it, you have to create time to watch her, and then she should create time to watch yours.
like like Lifetime movie. Oh my god! But okay, God, I know Anna will come in, but now you brought up the movie thing. Like, so you guys know the Lifetime movies, right?
Oh, I love those ones too.
Oh, see, there you go. Now I will come in, right? Like the whole week, a whole month, they will have like a. I mean, the title will be like all about the 90s.
Yes,
So, and the thing is, it's for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's. I think that's where those African movie got their stuff from. It's gonna
yes.
be like the whole story, but like different characters. Like the nanny will come in the house. He will either want the man try to kill the wife, or
Mhm.
something like that. And
Those
then
dramatic scenes is
yeah,
like edgy.
yeah. But then say she will watch the say, okay, I will come. Maybe for example, say I come in and I seen that particular movie. I kind of glance at it and pass. But then I come like 3 days. And I'm like, then you just watch that movie? Oh well, I like it. I like to watch it over and over. Guys, so, I mean, what do you think of that? Should you just sit there and be like, even though we watch it 2 or 3 times, we still watch? I mean,
No, no, I don't think you should watch the same thing over and over. But I think, right, you can
mhm.
just come and say, what about it that you like? Maybe about like 5 minutes there, and just sit there and say, what about it that you like? And why do you keep watching it? And then maybe if you sit there a little bit, maybe rub her feet and just give her a little massage and be like, you know what, I'm going to bed. Watch it before. If you have a new one, let me know. You know, that kind of like help a little bit because it makes the person feel like, but then when you're watching yours, you should be able to do the same as well. Because let's
But
just say you're watching.
you women will never watch football. Like, I mean, no women, how many, I mean, what a percentage of women that will watch football, that will watch basketball, that will watch like the thing we watch, like, the masculine type. Now, I know we got to try to play this middle role, but I'm just trying to be a little bit. little bit,
Yeah,
yeah, let me come, let me come on the side, or let me come in the middle a little bit. So like we watch CSI, like I watch these crime scene, like I watch the movie stuff called I Almost Got Away with It, and I watch like a lot of those stuff. That's my whole kinds of thing. So
right.
how is she? How often? How many women are willing to, or we sit down with me and watch an episode or watch the whole thing about crime investigation and all that thing? I mean, how often do you see it happen as compared to maybe men? We made a sacrifice to even, yeah, I don't want to watch drama or African show or something, but I would just sit for the sake of it. How many women would try to do the same to men in a
I think
relationship?
women, I think it just depends on the relationship you have. Like Anna said, it's kind of like, I go back to to the judge, right? She
Mhm,
said it's a give and take, right? I
mhm,
can't want you to do stuff with me and I'm not willing to do stuff with you. So this is where you kind of like plan it. Whereas like, okay, maybe this week I have something about that I like
mhm,
that you don't have to watch the whole thing with me, but pick a date. When do you want to watch it with me? This one is coming on that I really like. Watch it with me. Honestly, for me, I would say I'm guilty. I don't really sit to watch sports with my husband. But
mhm,
when it's like, let's just say when the Super Bowl was on, or let's say Liberia were playing, like those big events that are happening, I
mhm.
will glance in and I will make fun, or I'll pick another team just for us to have a rivalry. And I'd be like, okay, I'm rooting for this team. You root for that one. And his team. And it's fun, and it's engaging. But you guys want us to sit there and watch that every day. I cannot. I'm not interested in it. I'm only watching it because you're interested in it. And
Yeah,
also, I have to understand you're not interested in what I'm watching. You're only doing it because you want to make me feel happy because I have someone watching it with me. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just think you should just have the conversation. I think when you talk with your partner, you talk about it, and you create like some type of dynamic where it's like, okay, I don't like this, but I'm willing to do it because of you. And I don't like this, but I'm willing to do it. And you just kind of like create that understanding that okay, I like football, I don't understand it. If you explain it to me, I'm willing to sit there and watch it with you, just to be there to support. And I
okay.
think that could be another date night too. Oh, let's have a
Yeah,
date night. What's on CSI tonight, or what's on ID? Like what
mhm.
are we watching? For me, I used to watch it. He'd be like, I don't know, you planning to kill me or what?
Yeah, I know. Some of them really feel like that though. Like some of the things when you watch it, like you want to turn around and look like, especially the one with life insurance and all that.
Yeah, but I think overall it's just understanding the person that you're with and figuring out how to make it work. Because the world is hard. We can sit here and say all that stuff like this week, my day off, the time runs so fast.
Yep.
When I was thinking about, whenever I'm off, okay, I want to do laundry, I want to clean up the house, I want to make sure I cook and have things ready. By the time I'm done, I'm exhausted, you know?
Seriously,
And then
seriously.
it's like, before you know, the next day, it's time to go back to work. So it's just like you don't have enough time. But I think people can make time for each other. And I think that's what's really killing a lot of relationship, not making time for each other. And the other person don't want to understand because they're like, I'm working. And the other one say, I'm working too. So,
Let, let,
but the reality is we all have 24 hours, 7 days in a week. It's just prioritizing and what's important.
yeah, I know Anna being silent, but Anna, let me ask you, when I mean, and it go to both of you too. The compliment when let me go to the complimentary aspect a little bit. When
Mhm.
what is considered obvious to women and what is considered and what should be complimented? Like, say there are things maybe okay, let me say okay, she got a raise at her, not raise, maybe she got a promotion at a job. Okay, oh baby, congratulations. But okay, say like domestic activities, like things in the home, which I think is obvious, which from for me. And then maybe
Mhm.
she does something that I like, okay, that is it should be part of the thing. But then I don't say nothing. I pass by it, maybe like design, maybe something. Women maybe something do some tweaking in the house. But then I just see it as like it should be a normal routine. But then she's like, exactly. So she and maybe I don't say anything. I just pass by like, oh, and maybe in my mind like, oh, that's beautiful. But I don't say nothing to her. But then she's like, oh wow, I did all this thing. He didn't say nothing. And when do we? I mean, when do we consider something that are obvious? That is just obvious that I think should be done and what should be complimented. Like, how do you draw that line, guys? How do you? I mean,
Men,
especially
men,
women.
men do that all the time. Even my husband, it does happen even with your hair. He will
Uh,
see that you did your hair, you look pretty. He will not say anything but notice, right?
Yeah.
Because that's
Because
something
that's
he
all
expects
you
you to
did your
do.
hair.
Yeah,
uh,
just when you notice something, just say
mhm.
something. We like talkatives. If I,
Okay.
the women will prefer a talkative man than a quiet man. So always
Okay.
remember that when you see something that looks different, ask a question or say something. Say, babe, I noticed this, that rather than just sitting quiet, because if you don't ask it will look like their efforts were not wanted, and sometimes you can forget to, and if she reminds you, say, oh baby, I noticed, I said I just forgot to ask, it's just a lot on my mind or something. Just
Uh-huh.
apologize. And then once in a while, if she does something that for a fact is something that women do all the time, once in a
Mhm.
while just think about like how she cooks good meals for you, and then maybe once a month or so, well, not once a month because you don't want it to be like a habit, but
Yeah.
surprise her and say you just wanted to thank her for all the food that she has been cooking, for taking care of you and your kids. You just wanted to show her an appreciation. So it doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that you have to do it when things are happening, you
It's
know
just random whenever
just
you feel
random.
like
Once you want to appreciate her, some days when you feel really good, even some days when you want to kill the dog, you do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean,
You just start
for the
something
cooking, I
like,
always compliment. Mm-hmm.
yeah, para que sea when you want kill it dog.
Yeah, because sometimes sometimes it become a problem though. I often over years women talking about, he doesn't appreciate me, he doesn't compliment me like, I do that, and then those things. I mean, like I'm saying, those, some men just don't want, like,
Yeah.
yeah, they see it, like, but I mean, for me, yeah, I always like compliment the thing that I think, like the cooking, especially my favorite food. I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. That's good. Oh really? I said, oh yeah, hell yeah, that's good. That was. Oh, I didn't think. Oh, when I tasted it, it didn't taste good. Oh, yeah, well, it tastes good to
yeah,
me. Great.
yeah,
Right. There you go.
yeah,
See?
even yeah, something like
That
that.
even
Like
goes a
for
long
me,
way.
yeah, like for me, my husband, every time he eats, he would tell me thank you for the food. Like, even
Yeah.
though I know that's something that's my job, but just him thanking me encourages me to want to give him food every day. You know, like it doesn't have to be even if I don't serve him the food, but even the fact that he just says thank you for the food, like thank you for the food, it makes a difference. It makes
Yeah.
me feel like my efforts are not going in vain. And I also wanted to make a clarification about the compliment aspect of this topic of tonight. When
Mm-hmm.
Americans, at least my experience from being here for a while, when people say, should your partner compliment you, it's not necessarily just
The
uh,
verbiage.
verbal aspect of telling you good things or telling you sweet talks to make you feel good. It's about different aspects of life that your partner can help you become a whole,
Yeah.
match up to your flaws or where you're lacking. Like
Hmm.
for example, like some women will say, like Felicia mentioned earlier about um the fact that in her last relationship, she was more concerned about how people used to say they compliment each other. She was talking about the physical aspect of it, like them two looking good together,
Mm.
in public when they're out there. Everybody's like, oh, these couples are so cute. That's not all about relationships. Sometimes you guys can look cute together, but you guys don't compliment each other financially. Like he could be more of a spender and you're more of a saver, and you guys cannot work when you have that kind of relationship. Or if you have someone that's always out there and you, the wife, are always in the house, you're more of
Right.
an introvert. He's out there all the time, being with men, other women, other friends, those kinds of things. Those are ways of showing that you guys don't compliment each other. Complimenting each other means match, like you guys
You
match.
match up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of like the same in your thinking too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like your interests, you guys can have the same similar interests or interests, like where your wife may lack, you may be able to
I'm reading the comments. Oh, jeez. Oh, go ahead, Anna. Sorry. It says some of our wives, as soon as you tell them her hair is pretty or you look so beautiful, it says some of them will reply saying that today you know that I'm pretty or because you see power in the fire.
But seriously though, yes, right.
Oh man, Anna, thank you so much for that. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you kind of like stress on that. Yeah, in maybe in Liberia, it's a compliment we're thinking on differently, or probably other part of the world. But in America, well, most Americans when they say your partner compliments you, she will really lay it out there basically. Do you match up? Some men want women that are educated. That they will say that woman compliments them
Okay.
or some men might want or some women want men that they can control.
But you think if a man if a man like I think it was Fee the last on one of our segment
Yeah.
show was talking about I think it was talking about education like okay a woman I think like what if a man say he's I mean he has a master and he
Hmm.
trying to make you I think it was yeah
Yeah, it was here. Yeah,
yeah he trying to make you maybe you
to go
gotta
get a master's
yeah
too.
go get a master so both of you like Anna said match up maybe I'm maybe I mean I could be saying in a different but
It
say
is.
yeah he looking at his he's looking at his more of his status in society so he
Hmm.
looking at a woman that equate his social status his educational status because life is all about rating nowadays back in the when our forefathers like our mothers didn't really care about but now like it looks like we are all on the red carpet right now like everything is about man for woman, oh my woman is, she's a, she attended this college. So is it right for a man to try to have a woman equate herself to him in terms of his education, in terms of his job? Say he got a higher job, and the woman is just maybe, let me just say a cleaner. Let me just bring it. I'm not trying to,
For anybody that, yeah.
just give an example. But he is maybe he's a boss at his job, maybe he's a manager and other things. But then I mean, is it right for him to try to like push the woman or maybe in other words, let me say encourage, but maybe he was saying nicely, sounds like encouragement. Oh baby, I want you to get a master, but that's not really on plan. I mean, is it right for men to try to have that equation with woman just to have that complementary aspect in their lives?
Um, I think, I think, I think in a relationship, you always want the best for your partner. I think for the most part, I think everybody should want their partner to excel, and do better. than where they're at. I remember when me and my husband got together, I always said, if every year, if I feel like I'm growing in any aspect of my life and you're not moving any at any pace or doing anything, then I'm not doing my job being in your life, because then I'm just doing it on my own, right? And trying to make myself look better. I think as a team, you should always want what's best for your partner based on what they are interested in. I don't think it's wrong for the man or the woman to want them to exceed, but it shouldn't be based on because I want a status or something like that. Let's just say for me, let's just say I wanted to be a farmer, right? And that's what I'm good at, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I earn my living in. And all of a sudden, I'm comfortable where I'm at. All of a sudden, my husband said, "No, I want you to be a doctor." You know, I think you can be a doctor. Realistically, like, is that what you want from me, or is that something I want? And if that's something you want from me, and you see the potential, it's okay. But if I use the resources from the family and I don't excel, like, is that something you're gonna hold against me? Because let me tell you, few months ago, like back in November, I encountered a gentleman, and he says he does house plan, in Liberia. He's here, right?
Yeah.
And he and I was talking about something, and he said, "Oh, I can do your house plan and things like that." I said, "Oh, okay, that's great. At least you're here." I will talk to my husband and see if we can work together. But anyway, as time went on, he had different plan in his head, and all of a sudden, when we were talking about the house plan, he would switch the conversation to something else, and would just start talking about his wife and start talking about, "Oh, you're doing so well. You've been here that long. There are people who've been here that long. They're not doing nothing for themselves." And I said, "Well, it's never good to compare people. You don't know what other people went through to get what they got." So for me, I never compare myself with anyone. Wherever I'm comfortable. I don't care. People my age may have one, two house, three houses in this country. I don't care. I am
Mhm.
going at my own pace. And if that person is going by their pace, who are you to judge them? And he's like, "No, it's like," so he went on by saying, like, his wife, he paid for her to go to nursing school. And he thinks she had the potential and she went to nursing school, but she can't pass the NCLEX. And I'm like, and I was like, I don't think that's something you should be telling me about your wife. Even if she failed once or twice, that what did you do to help encourage her for her to go back and take it? The test is not a joke. I mean, she has three boys and three children working. Maybe did you tell her not to work for like 6 months to focus on, studying to be able to pass the test? That's not something that you should go around telling people. I mean, he got upset, but I think he had other mindset about me and him. And when I responded in that way, that kind of just made him mad. It happened all the time. So I'm just like, if you have your partner and you think they can do great and you push them, at least you went that far and passed the classes, right? Now it's just to get the certification to be certified by the Board of Nursing. And those exams are not fun. It's hard. So if she failed it once and failed it twice, or even 5 times, she can still go back and retake it. But what are you doing as the partner to guide her and help her to be able to exceed? Because now you're bitter and mean because you used the family resource to put her in school, and now you want to use it against her because she's not passing the test. So, in my opinion, if you are the one encouraging your partner to go seek something and they didn't exceed and they failed the exam, like, what are you doing to help? Are you gonna use it against them if it doesn't come into a fruition like what you want it to be? So, one thing in that I would say for us, even though like we might want the best for each other, it's like, do you want that? Is that something you want? Because God forbid, if I'm not here, you have to deal with it. You're the one gonna be working in the field. Is that something you want? If you don't want it, don't push people to do things they don't want to do just because you're in a relationship and you want to, make yourself look like your prestige or, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody, in my opinion, everybody will call to do something. And if you're called to have a status and you choose that person that don't have it, don't push them. If they want it, then you push them or you encourage them and help them find what it is they're interested in to do it. But just because, like, for me, I know, like, I don't have my master's yet, but I know a lot of people in my family or like friends and people are telling me, "Oh, you need to go get your master. You need to go get your master's." Um, First of all, I make more money than people that even have their master's. So what are you talking about? What am I getting my master's for? And I'm not throwing shades at anybody, but it's like I want to get my master in something that I know I'm working in already, what I'm interested in, and I want to advance myself. But I think a lot of us confuse getting your master's as, just to have the status of it. For me, I don't just want the status of it. If I have the status, I want it to match with my money. So so I would do it at my pace and at my time when I want to, not when somebody else think I should do it. And if my partner think I can do it, well, I would tell them I do want to have it, but it's not on your term. It's when I feel comfortable enough that I'm able to do it and I want to do it for a cause, not because we want to go somewhere and you say my wife is a doctor or she has her master's in this and he has a mastery in this. It's all about your skill set and how you make money to support the family, in my opinion. Sorry, I gave you such a long answer.
No, no, that's no, that's great. I think it's like I said, it's society right now. A lot of time people try to. There's so much demand. There's so much demand right there out there now.
Yeah. I
Some of
think
the
it's just in our African community.
oh no,
It-
American people do it too. I see people.
Mhm.
I see people. I don't know. Like, do you know? Like, when I went to the clinic. I mean, I don't know if there is more. I know it's not. Maybe it's not demanding, but I went to the clinic and to my doctor, and I different. That when you walk in, they always give you. And the lady, and she was we're talking, and she said, "Oh, do you know my husband?" And her husband, imagine she's a doctor. And her
Mhm.
husband, yeah, he's a big doctor at another hospital. Both of them had the same
Yeah.
last name because I met the other time before. And I'm like, because I took my family there before saying like, oh yeah, that's my husband. He said, oh, both of us we decided to. He encouraged me. That's what it was. He encouraged me into the nursing, into the field, and both of them are medical doctors. So I don't know
Yeah.
how. Yeah. So I think I don't know. Yes, maybe it's different from the way we handle it. But yeah, I think a lot of times they are you know they are on.
See, in her case, right, she probably wanted it and she needed someone to encourage her to do it. So that's kind of like two different things. If I wanted and I told you and you're like, I think it's time now for you to do it. I think you're able to do it. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Like I told a lot of people, if I had the opportunity that other people and I didn't have to like struggle in school, work, and take care of myself and while I go to school, I probably would have pursued more than what I did. But you have to understand, like everybody don't have the same upper hand to do certain things. So then if you're in a relationship where at that moment it works for you, then yeah, it makes sense. If your partner see you and they're like, you definitely can do this, you should do it. But it's different. There are other people who tell you, oh, if you don't do it, we can't be together because I always wanted someone who we can be. Then that's wrong. That's
Mm.
really, really wrong. You know, it's like, then why did you come to me? You knew I was a carpenter, and now you want me to be medical doctor? Like, are you kidding me? No. But if you had the dream, like, I would definitely love to pursue something further, but right now for our family that doesn't work. So you have to pick your timing of it. And I'm somebody, I don't like to do something and I don't exceed higher in it. So I like to like weigh myself out, and I'm glad I have someone who kind of like understand, and we work together to, accomplish things at our own pace and not follow what, somebody else is doing or whatsoever. So I think people should just understand who their partner is and not do it just because you want to show off to people. Do it because genuinely you know that one, it will help your family, and two, that's something that the person really wants.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 11. Tomorrow is church. Anna, you have something to add?
Okay, and this is your parents on.
Anna taking care of her littles. Anna
Yeah.
taking care of the little ones.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a great topic, man. I mean, completion and compliment. Yeah, those are things that
Yeah.
those are things that keep relationship together.
Yeah.
Compliment. Compliment. And like you said, Fee, I remember this one lady that I was on a show, and she was very passionate about it. And I knew she was being authentic because she wasn't like trying to be dramatic or anything or trying to put on a show. She met this guy and she
You
genuinely
guys
loved
hear
this
me
guy.
now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
can hear
yeah, we
you.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that I like how you were talking about being supportive, and by being supportive, making sure that it's something that whatever that person, if pursuing furthering the person's education includes supporting the person's dreams, it's a good thing. Like most times people marry and date people that don't support what their interests are as far as their goals, their long-term goals. When you marry a person, they shut down your dreams or whatever you wanted to pursue prior to marriage. So education is one thing that a lot of times most women don't pursue because either their partner is like feel intimidated by, or but when you have a partner that is supportive of you reaching higher heights for the common good of the family, it's very important regardless of whether the person has not achieved that level of education or not. So
Right.
that's a very good point you brought up. And yeah, everything else that you guys have said is really correct. I've been listening, but because I don't want my kids making noise.
It's okay. Yeah.
I got my little one right in the crib. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's more, like the lady I was telling you about. She was on a show, and she said, this man, he would never, she said the man thinks she's not adventurous, all your friends, because he expects her to be, they will have, how you like people have these all white parties and other things.
Yeah.
So she and the man, she brought him somebody brought somebody, but then his expectation now it was like, so every time, and I think they kind of misunderstand each other. I don't know if that was not that they were not compatible or something, but yeah, and, she's more like a stay when she want to save money. She wants to do other things, more domestic. But he was more like outside person. Extrovert, whatever they call it. He was more of an
Yeah.
outside person. You want to hang out.
You
You
like
want
the nightlife.
yeah, they should go to Vegas, go for them. But and she said maybe she got misunderstood, and even the same education business too. He brought it, oh, all your friends then doing this, and he said, well, look, I understand it takes time, and I just got here. I need to play catch up and other things, but I think his life was more of a fast life, and
Right.
Yeah, she said he just look down on every little thing. He was just like, oh, your friends then doing it. Oh, your friends then doing it. And she said she just got tired and just, she said, you know what, enough of this. I think they were together for like, she said over 2 years or 3 years. I said, well, that was a long time. She said, yeah, she saw nothing complimentary, nothing completing, like nothing, like it was like she was just always trying to appease him, every time when she think that she has said what, he will come up with another thing. Like he was always on a whole different thing. So she just couldn't handle it anymore. So yeah, this a good topic you got brought up because this is something that affects a lot of relationship,
Right.
yeah, people go through this thing every day. It's not like those are not isolated incidents. When it happens to people. So yeah, it was great discussing it tonight, and yeah, at least we learn from each other, and we'll be able to implement these things
Yeah,
into
I
our.
have a quick question though.
Mhm.
Regarding what you just said, how did it pass all that long and got together without knowing? Like, I don't know. A lot of that is happening where people they're in the relationship forefront. That's when they're realizing, like,
The
oh, they
same
don't
problem.
compliment.
Yeah, you will go ahead, but the same public
Uh-huh.
perception, the same thing that happened to you. She said that she was always the Labrador community. She said she saw the red flag, but like
Oh,
she saw the first year. She said maybe just this is beginning. Maybe eventually you will understand me. You will know who
right.
I am. Then the pressure from the Liberian community. Oh, you man, are you woman? That good man there, don't the man, you gotta take your time and they try to back home or people who calling her and telling her they put into that traditional model of relationship where our people, patience, endurance, patience. So she just kept it for all that time, hoping that things would change. But eventually,
Right.
yeah, that's not time.
Yeah, that's something that that makes sense. And I think a lot of people need to stop that, when people are going because knowing someone as a friend and knowing someone as an just an individual is different than when you actually live together and you building a
Miss
relationship
P,
together. Yeah.
sorry to cut you guys off. I have to go. Thank you guys so much for the
Okay, all right.
invite. It was
Yeah, we're
nice
about to
talking
end
to
the
you
show
guys.
anyways. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
thank you
No
very much.
problem. Bye bye.
All
Bye.
right, bye. Yeah, having, being relationship that is just not serving you. I know on this show we talk about like we're more marriage forward where we want to encourage young folks,
Yeah.
to like build good relationship. But I also think like people should really like try to train their kids to be individual first than to really like think like finding a relationship that's what's gonna solve your problem. Because if you don't really get to know who you are and you don't really understand what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and what is the purpose of actually being in a relationship, I think that's what leads to a whole lot of things. Because for me, I would tell you like I did not all I knew like I just needed to have a relationship to build a family and have kids and life goes on. At that point, that's what I knew when I was in that relationship that wasn't serving me. And the thought where you're taught girls not to go around, don't just be breaking up relationship, try to work it out. Women are the one who keeps relationship. All of that stuff like gets stuck into your head where it's like, no, why are we not putting the responsibility on men too? Because it's not just women, it's two people in a relationship. They should be able to work together and make it work. And so that can really be traumatizing. But hey, I've learned I don't listen to people outside. Whatever, if we look good on paper, oh well, I'm sorry. Either we try to fix it together and make it work, but I actually be the only person trying to make it work. And I think that's where the problem is. If
True.
one person is trying to make it work, the other, it's kind of like you have a bucket, right? That's
Mhm.
full. It has water inside. And then you have the rope of the other bucket that's not, one's always going to weigh the other one down.
Yep.
It's not going to be even unless you put the water at the same the same length of where it is and then it's measured at the same place, then it's gonna balance, you know? So I just kind of look at life that way in general. But yeah, man, he got the complete opposite. They did not compliment each other.
Uh, yeah, it's. So, I mean, with your situation, feel that back you say you were here 20, it was more like you know, thinking like, oh yeah, things will get better and the pressure, you trying to fit in and all that thing. But so now, I mean, in modern, I mean, now these situations are kind of like still, you know, it's still happening as we speak.
It
It's still
is.
happening as we speak, and then, but then, okay, like people like you feel you were able to break free, right? You were able to say, you know what? I know there was a tipping point for you because eventually everybody got to reach their boiling point, where they say, you know what, this thing. But do you think, I mean, why is it that some women, they
Mhm.
they have reached their boiling point, but they still think, maybe they went through like maybe not similar situation, but like maybe they got it even worse. Maybe they got some like Bremen, how they beat, maybe they got slapped in public or beat or something, and then but they still think that it will work. I mean, why do you think they still have that? Is it more mental or more traditional, or I mean, what's like of self esteem? Like, if I leave this man, look at me. I mean, their own self worth, their self concept, their self esteem, thinking that when they leave the man, maybe like the guy told you, told the other person, oh, she can't. I mean, she loved me more than I love her. Do you think it's more mental, more of a self-esteem problem that they think when they leave, they're not gonna advance in life? Is it mental or self-esteem or what? What do you think still holding there that similar situation that make you to break free?
Um, that's a good one because I actually know someone who's currently going through that, you know, which is kind of sad. But I think in our culture and in African culture in general, I think we support a lot of mental abuse, in my opinion. I think we don't really take it serious until it becomes physical. But I think mental abuse is it's like the worst abuse anybody can ever go through.
Mhm.
And we take it for granted a lot. I think those people that are still there is like the mental, and that's something that once somebody have literally messed with your mental,
Mhm.
it takes a lot. It's gonna take a lot for you to actually, make a lot of decisions because they've destroyed your mental in a way where it's like when you see yellow, you think it's red.
Mhm.
And the brain, how it works, is something where we remember the most traumatic things that are happening into our lives, especially when you're a kid, right?
Mhm.
Between the age of 0 to 5, if I'm not mistaken, kids will remember the most things that were traumatic for them.
Mhm.
And sometimes you hear adult will tell you, I remember when I was little, this person did this to me. That
Yeah.
was the trauma that they went through because the brain have already taken that and accepted it. And now whatever they see, that's the norm. And in our community, we tend to do that a lot and we downplay it with jokes and fun and say, oh, move on that man, they're just playing with you.
Yeah.
And it's not a joke. And that's something that eventually on this platform, I really want us to kind of like talk about a lot mental health. And I think a lot of us don't really talk about that. But to go back to your question, it's mental. They've been mentally destroyed that whatever anybody say, they just don't accept it because it takes time for it to build up in there and now it's in there now it can't get out And sometimes you start to think like self-doubt. And I will tell you, this is something I don't really kind of like talk to people about, but it's like when I was in that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I knew like it's not like I don't think I'm the most beautiful person in the world, but I think when I walk places, people used to actually recognize me and talk to me. But in that relationship, I felt like I was not worth it. Like I just felt like, you know, nobody was interested in me. And, I started trying to, I started to figure out, like, okay, maybe because he gave me attention. But I know, like, when I went out or I went out with my friends and things like that, I would get the attention. But just the fact that knowing that he have already told me that in my mind, like nobody's gonna want you,
Wow.
and and things like that. There was a whole lot that went on in that relationship. That now, when I sit and think about it, I was like, dang, why did I even like thought about that? But it's
So,
something that,
so he used to
huh?
get like angry, like I said, he used to like he used to get like angry, like when other guys try to talk to you, like you know how you feel like, cause he already got you programmed. Like when other people like you look beautiful, you like like you not angry, but like you didn't really. I mean,
I didn't believe it.
yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah, that's a real what I want to hear. Like you didn't feel like
Yeah, when
this guy
someone said,
already got
"Oh, you're so pretty. Can I
yeah,
get your
this guy
number?" And
already
I'm
got
like,
this
"No."
guy already got you wired. Like you know what? Don't even think that too highly of yourself. You ain't all that. So when they say you're beautiful, you're like, why is it? You did okay. Wow.
Yeah, like I wouldn't believe it. I mean, that relationship took a lot out of me before, and it took me about like a good 3 to 4 years before I could even like believe anybody who tell me anything. When I got out of that relationship, I used to work out 7 days a week, focus on myself. I became like a workout junkie where like I wanted to, like, if I'm not at work, I'm at the gym. I became like a personal trainer. Like I just wanted to build my physical, mental, mind, and just put myself together. And something that I will say is your mental don't get messed up, and that's why I always say kids that have both of their parents and they have like a community to support them. It's easier when they're adult. They don't believe a lot of crazy things. If somebody's trying to take advantage of you, if you were born and in your home, your parents, or whoever was taking care of you mess with your mental, when you get older, in my opinion, I think it's easier for you to accept anything somebody mess with you. Whatever they tell you, it's easier for you to believe it and think like, oh, okay, maybe they're all right because somebody else when I was growing up, somebody else told me this. So maybe this person seeing it, they don't even know me. Now we're getting to know each other. They're telling me this. Maybe they're right. So that's why I said in our community, like that's something, the words we use on kids when they're growing up, it really takes effect into adulthood. And once that first person they encounter that show them like they love them, they care about them and things like that, they become so committed to it that it's just like they can't do wrong to them, you know? Like it doesn't matter what this person do because they helped me, they saved me from something at some point. So now I'm committed to them.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Like now I'm committed to you. So if I'm committed to you and I think that's what most people who mentally abuse people, they try to gain your trust. Once you trust them, you're comfortable in everything, and then they destroy you. And I
Hmm.
think that's what most of those people do. So in our community, I think the people that don't leave, they've actually been mentally, destroyed. And in order for that to get reversed, it take a long time, a long time. That's where you will see, like, if you see on the news, some people be like, "Oh, she took it so long, and now she snapped." Like when you watch ID, you will see like, those CSI that said the person snapped.
Yep.
It's like a buildup. It's like the chemical reaction in your mind just build up. And some people don't have that strength to actually de-escalate from the situation before it get worse. And now the mental is messed up and they don't know what to do. And now all they're thinking about is like they're reactive and things happen. So some of those people that don't leave, yes, they're mentally like they need to. That's why it's important for you to seek someone as you don't know, that don't know your relationship, that don't know anything about you, for you to actually seek counseling from them. Because if you talk to them, you're not gonna look at them as being biased. They're not gonna be thinking, you're not gonna think like, okay, they're just gonna tell me to stay, or they're gonna encourage me, they're gonna take the other person's side. Your mind's already gonna be made up. But if you see someone who that you're explaining it to them, it bring reality back to you, you know then the course of those things start to replay into your mind, and then now you're talking to a counselor, and then the person is kind of asking you questions that they don't know. Is like you're telling them, and as you're telling them, you're learning your reality. And that's when I think people start to make up their mind, wow, how did I even get here? And your brain start to unwind, and that's how you start to leave you know but I definitely think is the mental, because before you even physically start being something that you can't leave, somebody try to control your mind. And once they control your mind, that's your power. That's your powerhouse. When somebody control your mind, it's easy for them to control your hearts, because everything that goes to your heart starts from the brain and pumps back. So once they get control of that and your mind is all messed up, now they got a hold of you, and it's going to take a whole lot of work for you to actually break loose. And every time you think you're breaking loose, you're thinking about, okay, where you're out and where they save you. And now you're like, oh no, I'm committed to them, I'm not leaving. So it's deeper than it seems on the surface. So sometimes when people tell you, oh, I want to leave this relationship, and next thing you see they're back, it's not that they want to, and we on the outside don't understand it, but it's something much deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it was great. Tomorrow we hopefully by the God's grace, we have to
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'll be joining the show.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this show great tonight. Appreciate all your great questions.
Thank you very much.
You make a great interview person because you know how to really ask questions. To be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. We that's why I say I've been following. I'm not into movie. I'm not a movie. The way people sit down and watch like 1 hour, 30 minutes. Like I remember that some of my friends at work, they said, "Man, why you not like?" They talk about the movie Transformer.
Yeah.
I said, "Why would I want to watch a robot turn into a car?" Oh, they get angry. Like, look at this guy. Why you always going looking behind things? Just see it as a movie. I said, "No, I'm more like
No.
a lot of real life story. That's how I learn all these questions. Like, 'cause, it gives me a lot of experience or experiences. How to, why things, like abusive relationship, like, why things happen. So that's how when I watch these things from beginning to end. I will watch like 3 or 4 of these things and just sit there and just watch and just analyze and see the question that I ask them, and and just bring it back to our Liberian society. I learned in this country. One thing I learned, if I haven't learned anything in this country, one thing I learned is innocent until proven guilty. In
Right.
Liberia, whereas in Liberia, we live with assumption. Assumption when
Mhm.
I was growing up. Oh, that woman killed her husband. I've seen a lot of whites. Yeah, bro. I have
It's
seen
still
grown.
happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. Yeah, I seen situation. Yeah, where even look, before I go, even in Wisconsin, when I came here, this woman lost her husband in our community. And the people. Oh, why is she's not emotional? She not cry, she just go in, but see, and our people, African people, thought that woman killed her husband, but that was
Oh
just
my
her
goodness.
own way of reacting to things. Everybody got different. But in Liberia, the woman will be rolling on the floor, be crying, probably pull her hair off. So the brother sin comes here, and when they went through the case, they found out that woman had nothing to do with her husband. Death. It was
Right.
his, yeah. So I learned a lot in this country. That's why when I watch these things, it gave me experience that I'm like, oh wow. I remember growing up and this thing we taught this, but it's a whole different way. That's how I learned a lot of things, and gradually I'm learning from it, like so many, and I read books about I love espionage books. Yeah,
Oh, those are good ones.
detective book. Yeah, those are the kind of those are my kind of things I read. It's kind of hard to read in America now with the work to read like a
Yeah,
whole big volume, but yeah, I still try my best.
nice. I really encourage a lot of Liberians to do that because people still assume a lot of things.
Mhm.
And life is not black and white. There's a whole lot of things. Some people you will notice, if even God forbid a child passed away, you will not see an emotion. It's
Mhm.
because it's all a chemical reaction in the mind, in your brain.
Yep.
And maybe you haven't really like accepted this. Like few months ago, one of my friends, she lost her mom. And when I
Mhm.
went there, she was not crying. But I tell you, after they bury her and everything like that, that's when some people the reality like hit, like wow, because the
Yep.
adrenaline hasn't kicked in for you to actually start reacting. Some people just have to hold it together until that happens, and then once it happens, it happens. But our country, will learn.
Learn, we got so much things to learn. They got
Yeah,
so much things that if the people still killing an old lady that they perceive as witch, whereas when I
right. I saw that. Oh my God.
do social science, they got people with deformity, they got people with mental ill, they got people that are actually people in the United States like that. But they have facilities for them, they have treatment option, but in Liberia, no, you wish they kill you. So our society feel it got that's why when you're coming with this show, I just avoid all these political shows because they're not teaching the people nothing. These
Yeah,
are where we learn things that affect our lives on a day. That's why I don't even make no politics post anymore. I just go on it, the post and just say things. But look, our society, it goes beyond politics. We got the basic sociological aspect of life, the mutual respect, a lot of
right.
things, the concept, the basic concept is lacking in our society. The politics is not all to life. So I just
Yeah. And
really,
and that's yeah, that's what I noticed, a lot of this is why I wanted to come up with something like this because to be honest, I've seen so much on Facebook. I see people fighting, I see a lot of politics, I see a lot of stuff. And I'm like, why nobody's talking about the things that are affecting daily life, relationship. It might not be about marriage and stuff like that, but you build relationship with your kids, you build relationship with your workmates, with the neighbors. And something I noticed too in Liberia, they don't really focus on the elderly, on like, people that are pregnant, those things that are happening, abuse. You just see some young girl passed away. Nobody really look into it. A young guy passed away. Nobody really try to see. Like I saw something the other day. A gentleman beat his son to the point where his entire bottom is like.
yeah, he
And
burned.
and I commented on there. I put that this is what America classify as abuse.
Yep.
That's abuse. That is not corporal punishment. That's not disciplining. That's abuse. So if you didn't understand what abuse is, this is what they call abuse. Do not beat your child to the point where they're like, bleeding. What if he passed out? What if he, like, then what do you say? You're sorry? So that's just some of the things. That's why I'm working behind the scene, but I'm trying to see if I can get a station in Liberia, like
Mm-hmm.
where I can really like, somebody can represent me. But I want to go down to Liberia first to see how I can do that. But I'm
Yeah.
working on that,
Okay.
where I can have a show where people really talk about day-to-day life and
Yep.
share light on stuff that are really happening, because I think that might shift the perception of things that are happening in Liberia a little bit. We can change people's mind, but
Yeah.
it can kind of like shift it, in a way where they understand life differently.
Yeah. That's okay.
All right. Well, thank you. And
Uh,
hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
okay. Thank you
All
very much.
right. All right. Bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was a great one. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye. Good night. And we end the show.